Hi, this is Aisha and welcome back to Nalagiri. Today I'm going to be talking about my hair journey and kind of what brought me to this hair today and how I maintain it, so my hair care routine for a healthy, strong, long hair. I really want to start by saying that sometimes on the outside what it seems isn't really what someone's dealing with on the inside, and for my hair that's a huge thing. I get complimented a lot for just having thick hair and strong healthy hair, but I've struggled with a lot of things that I kind of want to touch on today. So about 2 years ago I got diagnosed with alopecia, and so that's kind of I don't know if a lot of people know what alopecia is, but when I was diagnosed with alopecia, I had never heard of it before. And so alopecia is this genetic condition where you start balding, where you start getting bald spots on your head. And I was completely scared out of my mind. So about 2 years ago, during the summertime, I noticed that I had a small bald spot like the size of a dime, and I showed it to my sister, I showed it to my mom, and they were like, it's not a big deal, this happens. My mom thought like something must have bit me or something like that, but what I noticed was over the course of 30 days, that small dime turned into like the size of my palm. So pretty much underneath here, I had this big of a bald spot, and I was terrified, and I didn't even want to tell my family about it because I knew that they would be really scared and worried. But eventually my mom actually saw me with it once I came out of the shower and my hair was dried and straight, and she said, what happened? Like, did you shave your head? And I finally confessed to her that I was losing a lot of hair. I didn't know why. And I've always been someone who's very scared to go to the doctors. I always try to think of, using the holistic, healthier, natural route for everything. So, I started putting coconut oil on it thinking that it would go away. But eventually I went to see a dermatologist and they diagnosed me with alopecia. And didn't really, the frustrating thing about alopecia is they don't say, there's no point to kind of pinpoint why you have it. They say it's genetic, and it could also be about diet or lifestyle, and the most important one is stress levels. And so they asked me about, how much stress I was under at the time, and in that moment I was going through a lot of family issues and finding a good job and financial issues. There were so many things that kind of were underneath it all, and I think it was my body's way of saying, Aisha, pump the brakes, you're spinning out of control, and your body doesn't ever lie to you. It's the number one indicator of where you're at in the present moment, and if these things happen, they're kind of red flags for you to really catch them and try to treat yourself from a deeper level and not just on the surface. So what happened was I started going into the doctor's office and getting cortisone injections. So they would inject about 100 times into the bald spot cortisone, like high levels of cortisone, to stimulate the scalp and improve the growth of the hair. What I noticed was it did work for a little bit, and I got really excited, but it was a huge point of insecurity for me. I couldn't put my hair down, I couldn't straighten my hair because then it would look very obvious that I was balding. I was in a lot of pain. Sometimes when I would get the shots, they were very uncomfortable, and it just was terrible. Like I didn't want to touch my head ever because I was just scared that I was gonna completely go bald, which was also a possibility. They said that 70% of people who have it can completely go bald. They don't they can't track those kind of things. If you don't take care of yourself, it could potentially get worse. And I started getting spots in different parts of my head, including that first one. And it really scared me, and it was a huge kind of point of insecurity for me, and I was struggling with that a lot, about feeling good about myself. I was dating at the time, and it was something that I'm like, oh my god, like I will never be able to go on a date if I'm completely bald. But eventually I actually stopped taking the cortisone shots, and I decided that I wanted to really kind of heal my life from a really deeper level. So I focused on myself and making sure I was in a good place, and did a bunch of things to kind of keep my stress levels in check, and got better sleep, started working out, and I noticed my hair started growing back. And again, I still have alopecia. It's not something that I can get rid of. It is part of me for life, but you know, it's completely at a different level. It's so much less than I could have imagined, and I'm just really, really, you know, excited that just changing my lifestyle and being more positive and not harping on that issue. I mean, I spent every single minute thinking about, oh my god, I'm on the train, and if a train goes by and blows my hair, people are going to see that I have a huge bald spot, and they're going to think there's something wrong with me, or think that I have cancer, or I don't know. I just was so obsessed with how people perceived me. And once I stopped caring, and once I started worrying more about how I was feeling on the inside, I started noticing my hair growing back. And it's been, you know, a year and a half now, and I've noticed a huge difference. I have hair growing back, and they're, you know, little baby hairs, but there's something, and I noticed that the spots stopped growing and started filling in slowly. And yeah, that was a huge, you know, that's a huge part of my hair story, because a lot of the time people see me and they're like, wow, your hair is so long, it's so thick, you have like that Indian, you know, textured hair and all of that stuff, you're so lucky. But, you know, a lot of people didn't know that I was dealing with that, and it was a huge kind of obstacle in my life at the time. Because as women, we are really attached to our hair, and even if it's, you know, I've never been attached to the length or anything like that. Another thing to note is, since junior high school, anyone who knows me knows I've colored my hair constantly. I used to put chemicals in my hair, and I bleached my hair. I went, you know, fire engine red, I went green, I went purple, I, you know, went really, really light brown, and then one year I went completely jet black, and I've cut my hair so many times. And another thing is that, you know, I've never really had a professional haircut. Or a nice professional haircut at a fancy salon in New York. I have always cut my own hair or gotten it done at the Korean salon down the street for 20 bucks. And I've always been very risky and edgy with my hairstyles and my hair colors. So once I was diagnosed with alopecia, it was a huge you know, wake-up call for me to stop putting chemicals in my hair. I stopped putting heat in it. I stopped coloring it. It was the first time in years I had my natural hair color. So what you see today is pretty much like 90% my natural hair. It's, you know, there are highlights and things like that from colors that I've tried once I started getting healthier again with my hair. But it was a huge you know, kind of backwards motion, where I started realizing that, you know, of course I love, you know, trying different looks and being edgy and trying out new things, and just being really brave with my hairstyles. But I kind of pumped the brakes and just focused on the health of my hair, doing oil scalp massages with coconut oil and olive oil, stopped putting heat on my hair completely, and really focused on the color, just not coloring, not cutting, and just letting it grow out. Because 2 years ago I had a pixie, so if you can imagine, having a bald spot and really, really short hair was not a good combination. And I tried doing a bunch of things like wear headscarves and beanies all the time, but it's been a long journey to get here. And even though my family's from Bangladesh and I'm a Bengali American, you know, it's very coveted to have long, thick, dark brown hair, and I've always kind of been a rebel with my look and try to go against the grain and do different things, and know that, you know, you could be feminine no matter what you do, really. But, you know, having alopecia really changed everything for me and made me realize that I wanted to live a healthier life, and your hair and your skin is a huge indicator of your health. And so yeah, that's kind of where that's a long story, but that's kind of where my journey has been, and it's really been a transformation for me for the first time in my life to have my natural color and grow out my hair and keep it long. So yeah, and let's just get into my hair care routine. So what I do now, I use very, very minimal products on my hair, but let's get started. So I'm going to start off with the shampoo. So the shampoo that I use right now is Jason's. So I don't know if you can see very clearly, but so it's Jason's shampoo that I get from Whole Foods. It's a fragrance-free shampoo with aloe vera and vitamin B5. So this is actually my boyfriend's shampoo. So he picked this up because he was kind of getting some inflammations or bump on the back of his head, on his scalp, and I told him, I was like, use Whole Foods shampoo, go and get some aloe vera shampoo. And he picked this up, and I tried this, and I'm obsessed with it. So I love this shampoo, and I love the Jason line. It's such a great, gentle line, and really great ingredients. So I've been just using this as a shampoo, and I've noticed, you know, my scalp is just a lot more moisturized and doesn't dry up or flake anymore. So I really love this one. So what I do is I use shampoo on my scalp, and I massage it into my scalp for a good 2 minutes. I take the time to really massage it into my scalp, and I don't put it anywhere else. So I just put shampoo on my scalp and I let it sit. And while it's sitting, I go in with my conditioner, which is this really popular brand, Moroccan oil. It's the Intense Hydrating Mask. So this is a hair mask, but I use it as a conditioner because I only wash my hair once a week. And this might freak people out, but you know, a lot of people, I think, have heard that, you know, it's not good to wash your hair out every single day because you're going to dry out the natural oils and moisture in your hair. But I've gone so much to, in the past year, you know, actually 2 years ago, I went from like washing it twice a week to the last year, like just exclusively washing it once a week. So anytime the rest of the week I use dry shampoo, or I'll put a shower cap on every time I take a shower. And it's, you know, been a huge save in my life, like with maintaining the integrity of my hair. I was actually really scared once I had alopecia to wash my hair, because anytime I washed my hair, put any pressure on my hair, I noticed a huge amount of hair fall out. So it started like that, but then when I researched about how many times you should wash your hair, you know, it was very evident that you're supposed to kind of train your hair, so the less you wash it, your hair starts adjusting to it, and it doesn't get greasy or oily. You just have to be really patient with it. And I've noticed that my hair is stronger for it. It's maintained a lot of the integrity, and it doesn't break as much. And one time when I was working at a boutique a couple years ago, I saw a woman who had hair up to her lower back, and it was the most beautiful hair I had ever seen in my life. And I asked her, I was like, please tell me, what is your secret? How do you have hair that strong and gorgeous? Because I know a lot of people with long hair, it gets very stringy, and as it grows, you know, without cutting it, the ends get very dry. But hers was, you know, healthy from the root to the tip. And she told me that she only washed her hair like every 2 weeks. And I looked at her like she was crazy, but obviously the proof is in the pudding. I owe a lot to the health of my hair for just the minimal amount that I wash it. So 4 times a month, once a week on Mondays is when I wash my hair, and that is one of my biggest tips for maintaining healthy long hair. So again, to jump back into the conditioner, I use the Moroccan Oil Intense Hair Mask Conditioner. So once I put the shampoo, the Jason's Aloe Vera shampoo, on my scalp, massage it in, I'll take a little scoop of the Moroccan Oil hydrating mask, and I'll put it from the middle of my hair, so like right about from my cheek down is where I'll saturate my strands with this conditioner, and I'll let it all wait for a couple of minutes. So I have the shampoo on the scalp, the conditioner on the mid shaft, and once I wash it off, it is just a lot stronger. And you know, like the shampoo is really meant to just clarify all the scalp and oils and products and stuff that you have from the week, and the conditioner is really for the ends to be hydrated and moisturized. So once it washes out, it really is easy once my hair air dries to manage it. So those are the only two products I use in the shower. I don't have, honestly, if you look in my shower, I don't have a lot of products. It's really those two, and I'm just trying to give you my honest opinion. And what I do is I air dry my hair, and once it's completely air dried, I will go through it with this brush. So this is a holy grail product of mine. It is called the Green Brush. I got it off Amazon, and it is fully made of wood and bamboo. So these bristles are made out of bamboo, and what I do is once my hair is completely dry, usually the next morning, I'll sleep on it when it's a little damp, and then the next morning I'll brush my hair. And I have not been a hair brusher at all my entire life. I know that sounds weird, but I just never cared about brushing my hair. I didn't think it was important. I found it to be annoying and just not part of my routine. But once I started reading about kind of the benefits of having a wooden hairbrush, I noticed a huge difference. So the wooden bristles actually kind of help distribute the natural oils in your hair from the root of your hair to the ends. So while you're brushing, it's pretty much dragging down all the oils and distributing them evenly. So I honestly owe a lot to this tip, and it's one of my favorite things to do now. So yeah. And the other thing is I don't put a lot of heat in my hair. I pretty much keep my hair as it is naturally, and then I will just take a curling wand and go through the tops of my hair. So, you know, I just try to keep it as natural as possible. I will do, you know, a natural beachy wave look, and kind of how I style my hair when I do choose to use a curling wand or heat on my hair in another video. But I know I've been going on and on, but you know, this hair journey of mine has been very long and deep, and I kind of wanted to get into all the nooks of it and share with you a really authentic, honest testimony of what I've been through. And I hope if anyone is going through alopecia or any sort of hair insecurities, that you know the first thing to do is to kind of look at your life in the big picture. And I know that sounds really dramatic, but you know, it's really important to really dig deeper and kind of get to the heart of the situation. And once you figure out what's really stressing you out and what's concerning you in your life, you can start amending it by changing your routines and changing your lifestyle, and then, you know, just using healthier products and not doing so much to it. I feel like, you know, we're in a culture where we overdo things, and we buy so many products, and we think that in order to have great anything, we have to use a lot of items, and I just don't think I think it's a lot simpler than that. So just use less, and use the few that you have. Just use really good quality products, and I promise that you'll have great healthy hair. And yeah, so that's it. That's my hair story, and that is my hair routine that I use every single day, except, every single week, since I only wash my hair once. But you know, give it a go, and I hope that, you know, you keep an open mind in trying different things out, as long as you know that you're doing it the healthy way. I think that's the most important thing. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and if you liked this video, please subscribe down below and show me some comments. Share your story with me. I'd love to hear from you all. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye!